Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper, and today we're here with Laura. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jeff.
One of the things we like to do on Attention Talk Video is show obvious solutions that are not so obvious. And Laura's got a neat little system here. It's a file folder that you open up the front cover. And can you walk us through this? From a distance, you can see that there's a file folder, but there's some little slats here. So if you could, again, explain this.
Sure. So I realized in the morning it was really hard for me to always stay on task with everything I needed to get done. And I would kind of just get into my office and then I might just shut down a little bit. So I got this folder and I just realized that if I kind of made a list of things to do, kind of like a checkoff list, it would help, but it was too much to see the whole list. I mean, it would just overwhelm me. So what I did was I just took one of these folders and I cut with a paper shredder, with a paper cutter. I just cut lines, and so under each little thing it has one task. So that's how it goes, and then I go to the next one. And the thing that's really good about this is, depending on my morning, sometimes I feel like I don't need it at all. I can kind of just flip several of them over and see, okay, well, I did that, did I do this? And if I did, that's fine. I flip them all over and I can tuck them back. But other mornings, it's surprising how many I think that I've already done and I haven't. So I might need to tuck just one back, or I may end up tucking them all back and then starting over from the beginning.
And one of the things that's interesting is you've got them numbered over here on the side, so when they flip out, you actually know what number they are.
Yeah, yep. And then I just when I first did it, I had just cut these, but then I realized I needed something to help me hold it shut. So I just took a piece of ribbon and I ran it from here down to the bottom, and I just kind of stapled it or taped it on the back. But then for me, I realized that visually it was distracting to me to have these little flaps, so I just took another folder and I basically just cut a piece and put it over this, so that for me visually it wasn't distracting and it works.
And so Laura, we have talked in working together that what was fascinating, at one point in time you said if you had a to-do list and you had some items and you crossed one off, many people would feel good, like, yay, I got that done. But that crossing off, it was visual distraction for you that made it difficult. Is that right?
Yeah, and I actually ended up, many times I'd end up rewriting lists, and it ended up being very time consuming. I wouldn't just end up rewriting one list, then I'd get halfway done and I'd end up, I don't know, for some reason I would just turn it into a whole nother project. So this way I don't have to look at it all. I don't have to cross anything off. I can just tuck the thing back in and done.
And it works as a reminder list of a routine or whatever you're doing, and you can use this in various places. And for our listeners out there, I don't want you to think that you necessarily have to do this, but what we're hoping to do is spur your creativity, because for Laura, needing the list of things that she needs to do in a routine-like format and the ability to show one at a time or different ones, different combinations, really kind of works for her. And it's not something that you'd find in the self-help section of the bookstore, but it really works for you.
Yeah, it works for me, and it was inexpensive, very inexpensive. And the amount of time it took me to do that compared to the amount of time it would have taken me to go to, say, like a bookstore and get something and try and understand, I just did what worked for me. And it works.
Well, thanks for coming on and sharing it, Laura. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy.